Yins, this week on Car Dad Bill is a special guest, an all-electric 2022 Audi e-tron. It's the 5-door, kind of like a crossover. Unbelievable. Let's go for a ride. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go. So I want to give you guys my first impressions of this. And when it was first delivered to me, I was so excited about an electric vehicle, another full electric vehicle being dropped off, that I overlooked a couple things about the specs on the Audi. I was shocked at the full range. The full charged range was under 200 miles. And for this size vehicle and the Audi brand and all of that, the technology here, I just thought there should have been more, right? Well, it's almost into winter now in Western PA here, and you get less mileage because you charge the battery up, but then all the environmental conditions impact that stuff. But my first impression was low range, slow charging, and extremely elegant and sporty. If you can do that at the same time, this car does that. The gear selector is totally different, and it's not necessarily a gear selector. It's super smooth and flat in the turns, and it's just overall quiet. But let's get to the review. All right, guys, inside the e-tron, and I'm charging right now, so I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. 125 kilowatts, that's a really fast charge right now. 5 minutes to the end. 70% right now, I'm only going to 80%. I started off at 47%. There's my range down here that's growing right now. And so is the battery. And this takes me right up to that mark on the right there, that last box. Now when they come pick this car up, I'll probably charge it to like 90, 95, so they can get a little bit farther. And then up here, there's your actual like progress bar graph, starting out at 40 and making it all the way up to 80 in about 20 minutes, it seems like, because this is a fast charger. And speaking of those chargers, this is an EVgo fast charger, DC charger, and it has this connector, and they're on both sides. Those are the connectors you need for the fast charging. There's actually 6 stations here, and those 2 stations down there, there's a Tesla charger on the one. That's what makes that one different. But these are all fast chargers. You plug the car in, you put your card in, and then you sit back and watch it charge. All right, guys, standing outside with the e-tron. Look at the front end of this thing. Super sleek, no grill, no like openings. This little opening here goes actually all the way through to the other side. Really sweet. Sweet headlights with the same animation as the S3. The e-tron doors, and look at those orange, yellow calipers. Nasty. e-tron logo up here. You hit the button. So this side gives you the home charging port, but it also gives you this bottom. That's your fast charger for the DC. Walking along the side, just look at that stance. Look at that overall shape. Really clean. No exhaust. Really nice taillights. Love the overall stance. Love the overall appeal. Here's another charging port on this side. And that's your standard without the fast charging. Really slick, really sleek. Let's go inside. All right, guys, inside, turning it on, and you get to see some of the different animations that happen. And look at this screen up here. Insane. Look at that Navi screen. There's your range, there's your like your tachometer and your charging ability. Then on this side is your actual battery gauge. And then you can toggle between these screens just like that. And then down here, welcome to e-tron. Now these buttons are all haptic. The difference being that you don't just touch. So if you just touch it, it doesn't really work. If you press it, it takes you back to the home screen. If you press it, it takes you to the phone apps. You have to come down here to the HVAC controls, and it's the same idea. Touching things, actually pressing on them. Touch just, it gives you feedback, but it doesn't do anything. You actually have to press it down. There's your start stop button. There's your volume control for the radio. And then look at this beautiful gear selector. Let me switch hands here. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. It slides down for drive. It slides up for reverse and gives you all of your different screens there. Press the button to put it back in park. You have your parking brake like normal, but it's just a really clean and really elegant way to display. And then you can rest your hand on that as well while you're driving. Really nice steering wheel, really nice overall interior appearance. Layering of materials, you have like a suede material here with your lighting from the nighttime, leather wrapped. Love the door handle, how that works. Comes up and around, really smooth. Wood gray material up here, all the way around. It says e-tron up there, really cool. And you come all the way around and take a look at those seats. Really nice seats, leather seats, stitched, really elegant and sporty all at the same time. Just a really nice place to spend time. And keep in mind that it's super quiet in here too when you're driving. Now, look at this, 3D mode. So you can actually see the car, and then you can change the angles at which you see the car. Sides of the car, what's on both sides of the car. And another cool feature is if you turn this 3D thing off, you can open this up, and then you can get three different types of camera angles, like a fisheye lens and like a straight down lens right on the bumper. So cool effects when it comes to the camera system that's all around, because you have cameras in all of the mirrors as well. So pretty neat stuff there. Let's look at the back. Opening up the back door. And these are all electric now. When you open the door, you don't have to pull. You just have to just open it up, and it opens up nice and smooth for you. Look at the HVAC center for the back seats back here. It's pretty neat, pretty elegant, pretty futuristic. Latch system, these have lights in them too. That lights up at night. Really nice back seat, pretty decent sized. Come around back, gorgeous, gorgeous back end. And then you have a really solid, large trunk area with little nut cubbies on the sides. Really good, really nice size. Let's go for it. Favorite things about this e-tron is just how balanced, quiet, smooth, and how it goes over the bumps. It's really the ride quality and drive quality you get with this vehicle. Obviously, it's all electric. You can get fast charging, you can have home charging. It doesn't get the range that I really wanted. And I think there's a combination of things for that, and we'll go over that in the bad. But just the experience of this vehicle is fantastic. The technology, the way that it can anticipate the cars in front of you and apply braking, the way that it can brake down hills, it has regenerating effects all the time. You can recuperate power every time you're driving, adding range to your ride. So you can actually be like, you can be even or even positive on your commutes if you're really careful with the throttle, number one. You can't be crazy with the throttle. And number two, if you apply the braking correctly and you're regenerating on your paddle shifters, then you can actually come back positive sometimes if you have a hilly commute. There's so many advantages to having an electric vehicle. but there's a lot of disadvantages with the infrastructure currently and some other things that we'll go over later. But looking at this vehicle and just driving it from a pure enthusiast driving car guy, this thing's awesome. I'm getting on the highway again, popping in the sport mode, and you just stab the throttle, and that thing just flies. It just flies, and it's in silence. It's in silence as well. That's the best part. It's like a sneaky ninja car. Another aspect of this e-tron that I love is the livability of the size of the vehicle. It fits right between the Q5 and Q7 in the lineup. So in theory, it's a Q6 e-tron, you know, but it's not a Q6. It's just the e-tron. But in theory, that's where it fits, and it's the right size. I mean, I have a larger family, so I can't take everybody, obviously, but I can take my kids or her kids or, you know, X amount of children and people in this vehicle and their stuff. It has a good trunk in the back, and it's all-wheel drive, quattro. So it's not a bad family vehicle, electric vehicle that can house everything. All right, guys, since it's the e-tron, it's a little bit of a different review because it drives like one of the best cars I've ever driven. So it ranks on top of that list as far as just driving characteristics, acceleration, braking, handling, all that stuff, right? So, but when I talk about the e-tron as far as living with it for a week, I want to go into some things about that. So they tell you a 222-mile range. They tell you fast charging capability. This is the premium model, so it has charging capability on both sides of the car. You have a regular home charger only on the passenger side, but on the driver's side, you have the capability to do the DC fast charging. So if you have a home charger, plug it in at night, top it off. Number two, Audi recommends you drive your daily commuting. It needs to happen between 20 and 80% charge. If you're gonna go on a trip, you can charge it to 100% and go on your trip. When I first got it, I was like, wow, not a lot of range. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to charge it all the time. Oh, freaking out, right? Because I don't have a home charger yet. But as I'm at the end of my week, you top the vehicle off at home. Plug it in when you're not driving. You plug it in overnight. You're always gonna leave the house with a full charge. Even if you don't, you can still commute and drive around the area that you need to drive around in, up to 150 miles, 120 miles, give or take, and top it off or charge the vast majority of it at a fast charger, which is within 20 miles of me pretty much at all times. Now, I did cut it close driving to a hockey rink that was 100 miles away, so it was a 200-mile round trip. I figured why not test it then, right? And my trip was charged about 70 miles from the location, drove to the location, drove all the way back almost home, and got to the charger with 6 miles left in range, which was very low, which was very close, and I don't recommend that for anybody. But I got there, I charged it back up to 80%, and I went about my business, and I haven't charged it back to 100% since then, and that was early in my loan. So if you have a home charger, you're going to really significantly lessen your anxiety. You're also going to make the vehicle ready for you all the time. And it's like getting into the car with full tank of gas every morning. It's kind of a good feeling. And having those superchargers out there available for you to charge from about 30% to 80% in about 25 minutes is not bad. You just pull off, charge the car for 20 minutes, and you're set. All right, guys, some of the facts and features on the e-tron that probably the most important things for like a car video, right? Like the horsepower, right? So it's equivalent. It's not exact horsepower, but it's a huge 95 kilowatt battery, and that battery produces 355 horsepower equivalent, 414 pound-feet of torque equivalent. When you flip that into sport mode, okay, it pops it up to 402 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. So it jumps from just about 400 pound-feet of torque all the way up to almost 500 at the push of a button, and then you step on the accelerator and Takes you off 0 to 60, 5.5 seconds. My favorite part about driving the e-tron is just that. Getting in the car, getting on the road, and driving it. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's predictive, it's adaptive, it feeds, there's a ton of feedback. It's like an interactive experience with a vehicle unlike any other car that I've driven recently. It sees what's on the road in front of you, it sees what's around you, it helps you. It doesn't interfere too much. You can turn it off immediately if you don't like it. Great stuff. Hey, and subscribe to Car Dad Bill on YouTube for more real full reviews of all these cars. Thanks for watching.